Duke loses to Miami. That's the big result last night to me. Like, I know people are going to want to talk about Texas Tech, Oklahoma. I don't honestly. I didn't learn much in that game that I didn't already know.
That was an awful basketball game.
Awful, atrocious. A Chris Beard special. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
Really but what we did learn was that your Duke Blue Devils are still in a little bit of trouble when it comes to the NCAA tournament.
I think they're in more than a little bit of trouble. They are currently, as it stands at this very moment, they are 7-6 overall. They are 66th in the net, right? Oof. They are 0-3 against quad 1 opponents. Wow. They are 2-2 against quad 3 opponents, meaning that right now they are 1 game over 500. They have no quad 1 wins. They have 3 quad 2 losses. That is bad. That's like something out of a profile from the Atlantic 10.
It's really ugly. I mean, really ugly. Are they ahead of Kentucky now in the net? What's the Michigan State is 96.
Yeah, and that's a home loss for Duke. Like it's crazy to think that like one of the reasons why Duke is in trouble and in danger of missing the NCAA tournament is because they lost to Michigan State. But that's exactly where we are right now. That should put everything into perspective when it comes to whether or not Michigan State is going to make the NCAA tournament.
Kentucky's 74, by the way. So Duke is at least in the net a little bit in front of Kentucky, 8 spots. Then you got Michigan State trailing both of them. Like, who would have thought? I mean, seriously, who would have thought you realistically, with 2/3 of the season done right now, none of those 3 make the NCAA tournament?
I mean, 2/3 of the season done. Outside of Duke finding a way to win, here's the thing about Duke. They have 3 quad 1 games left. But 2 of them, like one of them's on the road at North Carolina, and the other one is on the road at, I forget who. There's another top 40 team they play. It might be Syracuse. And then they get Virginia at home. So, like, there's very little chance of them having a great schedule and a great profile, regardless of what happens the rest of the year. Now, that's assuming that they don't lose any more bad games, which, like, they've proven they're very capable of doing. Miami stinks. Miami is 149th in the net. Like, that loss was awful.
That loss killed them.
That loss was awful.
Yeah.
That's going to end up being a sub 150 loss because Miami is just so banged up. They're going to keep losing games.
Oh, no doubt. No, listen, the only thing that's going to save these schools potentially is the fact that is the committee, if they're close, just going to say the hell with it. We need them for ratings.
So I'm looking at the net right now. Is this right? Colgate is 16th?
Yes, because they've only played a few games. Remember, they started late. They've only played a few games, and they're blowing out teams. It's a joke. I mean, they're 7-1, and they're blowing the shit out of teams out. So, yes, Colgate right now. And this is my problem with a lot of these analytics things early. And I say this all the time. People they quote Ken Palm. Like Gary Parrish does his rankings solely off Ken Palm, if you look at it. It's like completely. And he starts it too early. Like you could start it now. Like you said the other day, Ken Palm now isn't nearly as predictive. But, man, a month ago, you can't be doing that. Like, to me, it's not even close at that point. Now, some things are pretty good because, again, there is a measure of predictive. And for the most part, we know year in and year out, the same teams are generally at the top. But this year, look at where Ken Palm had Duke a month ago. Look at where he had Kentucky a month ago, right? Michigan State, they were all way too high because he's betting on the fact that those teams year in and year out are always going to be in the top, 10 or 15.